looks like it's going to be a great day. We do have a stop planned. We're going to stop at the Albany Yacht Club, which is going to be on our starboard side. Super easy starboard tie as we go by to just do a pump out. We just wanted to get that done because we're going to be entering the Erie Canal basically after our stop in Waterford for a couple days, and we're not exactly sure how frequent the pump outs are going to be. I know they're up there, but we'll be researching that as time goes on. So I've got to make a little course change on the autopilot here, so I'm going to sign off for now.
Hi, we're Mark and Mel. After raising 4 amazing daughters who are now raising our 12 grandchildren and helping people on land in the real estate business for over 30 years, we're now realizing our goal of a year-long adventure cruising America's Great Loop on our boat Paradise. This is a 6,000-mile journey through waterways that include the Atlantic and Gulf Intercoastal Waterways, Great Lakes, Canadian Heritage Canals, and inland rivers of America's Midwest cities. Join us as we navigate over 100 locks, explore cities large and small, and experience an unforgettable journey through America's Great Loop.
We are leaving today, but we haven't even fully decided where we're going to stop. The furthest we'll go is Waterford, which is the beginning of the Erie Canal and all that. So we'll keep you posted on that. One thing about this town I thought was interesting is the yacht club is there in the distance. Those boats over there is that's the Coxsackie Yacht Club, and we rode our bikes over there and we talked to one of the members there, and he made a comment that it really kind of took me a little bit by surprise. He said, "We just got our docks in the water like 2 weeks ago," and I thought, docks in the water? You just got them in the water? And sure enough, because of the bitter winters here and the ice in the river, all these docks have to come out every winter. And being from Arizona, that's something that's very foreign to me. So I imagine these docks here have only been in the water for a short time this season and will come out in the winter. And we're off. We're off to Waterford today. Passing Shady Harbor Marina. There are about 8 loopers here, I think, according to Nebo. I see Now or Never right there. Now or Never is a Carver 440, just like ours, only 1 model year different. I'm not sure exactly which other loopers are there. It's a really popular looper stop. We chose not to go there. Maybe next time. large ships on the Hudson, even this far north. That's a big one. Sitting really high in the water. Looks like they're loading it now. They're loading really big rocks onto this barge right here. Really big rocks. Well, we are sitting here in the Hudson River in Albany, waiting for an attendant to come out to the fuel and pump out dock here at the Albany Yacht Club, and checking out the town here on the left. Albany is the state capital of New York, I understand. In fact, right here we've got a large U-Haul facility, and they have a great big U-Haul moving truck perched up on a pedestal on their roof. That's unique. This bridge, it has a published minimum clearance of 25 feet, so we should clear it just fine. It's always a bit scary looking when we go under these lower bridges. We are at what's called lock number 1 of the Erie Canal, which actually isn't really on the Erie Canal at all. It's out in the Hudson River near Troy. This is the Troy Federal Lock, but it is the first lock, or lock number 1 of the Erie Canal. That's a 17-foot lift, and we're probably a little bit more than halfway up that already. There's the dam over to that side. Looking forward to getting to Waterford, which is what most people consider the official beginning of the Erie from the East End. Well, here's where we either turn left for the Erie Canal or right for the Champlain Canal. So let's go left. We're going the Erie. We are in Waterford, and we are docked down there on the floating dock right in front of the visitor center. And that is the Hudson River in the distance going by. And in a few days, today's Saturday, and we'll probably be leaving here on Tuesday, we're going to go through lock number 2, which is right here. That is the second lock on the Erie Canal, or it's the second of the Erie Canal locks. It's actually on the Mohawk River, which is what the eastern end of the Erie Canal pretty much is. And we went through lock number 1 back in Troy, just a couple miles back. Well, there's lock number 2 from up above here, which we'll be going through in a few days. Well, it's Sunday morning here in Waterford, and right here on the dock, they have a farmer's market. Got a little breakfast action going there. Vendors set up all the way down. Live music and everything.
creature gave a new name, soars to nurture the world, ready, sing a new tune. Weight of it all won't get me down. Wild as a stallion set free, wind in my hair, sweet essence of Tell me secrets, power of words. Tell me stories, legends before. Ones who ran with the wolves, broke free, free from all ropes. Pharaoh strength, the one who can't be contained. Wild as a stallion set free, wind in my hair, sweet essence of beauty. Wild as a stallion set free, wind in my hair, sweet essence of
And I don't know what kind of mill, but it's all been repurposed into apartments or condos. The lofts at Harmony Mills. And there's actually, that's repurposed into luxury lofts.
Luxury is can be interpreted by different people different ways.
That's true.
I've looked at some so-called luxury apartments in my day, back in the day, that weren't very luxury.
But at least they have, you know, housing that they're repurposing all these giant buildings to.
We're at Cohoes Falls near Waterford, and this is a spot where they've dammed up the river just upstream from these falls, and most of the water is diverted over to the left there to this power generating station for hydroelectric power. And they created this little overlook here, so you'd have a place to come and take a look at the falls. Let's see what's at the other end. Elevated view of the river downstream. Very scenic. And the bridge in the distance, and I think we came across that bridge. I know we crossed that river. That might not be the bridge that we took. That looks actually more like a train bridge.
City Hall looks like a castle. Wow. Some of the very first suffragettes there in the area. Danger, 12,000 volts. There's a lot of power there in the women. The churches around here are amazing, just amazing. From Cohoes, we ride our bike over to historic Van Shack Island. And this is another branch of the river from the dam. And I can't tell you how much cooler it is going over this bridge from this water. It is much cooler right here. And it's just beautiful. And it looks like this house has been by the water, side of the water, a very long time. Maybe the 1800s also. I'll try and find out. But that foundation looks fairly close to the foundation of the house. Looks like it might have worn away a bit. But it's amazing because you can see the rock down there. There's a lot of rock at the bottom of this, so it may be on a really firm foundation of rock. So interesting.
Here's where we came up the Hudson River after going through the Troy Lock, and we made a left-hand turn onto this, which is the Mohawk River in the beginning of the Erie Canal. And here's a sign that they have posted for boaters to make sure they go the correct direction. Very cool. And I discovered that there's a program here where you can participate in a kayak trip up through the Flight of 5 locks. Those are the lock number 2 through number 6, which is coming up here. We're going to do that tomorrow. And it looks like you can rent a kayak and go on a little tour and actually go through the locks and come back. We've been seeing the kayaks coming and going. Didn't realize until now that's what they were doing. Good morning. I'm here at Hannaford Supermarket. We are at Waterford for a couple days, and this is the closest supermarket. It's actually not far at all. It's about 6/10 of a mile from the free dock there at the Welcome Center in Waterford. It's actually in Troy. This is a Troy address. You actually have to cross the Hudson River, but it's a really, really easy, barely more than half a mile walk or bike ride. In my case, I did a bike ride today. And I'm gonna go ahead, I came down here alone, mainly to bring back the heavy things. I'm gonna get all the canned drinks and water and heavy things and do one trip of that in our cart that goes behind the bike, and then we'll come back later and do the rest of the provisioning. Hannaford is a good-sized supermarket, pretty large, very well stocked, and some of the better prices we've seen, especially since we've been in New York. Yeah, one thing about this Hannaford here, we stopped in yesterday just to check the place out and get a couple of things. And they carry our favorite, or my favorite, non-alcoholic beer by Athletic Brewing Company. I'm gonna get a couple of those and stock up on that. Well, I got a pretty full load here. Got a little more than I probably should have gotten. So I've got the cart completely packed with some 2.5 gallon jug of water and a few 12 packs of that non-alcoholic beer that we like, and a couple of these 12 packs of seltzer waters. All didn't fit in the cart, so as you can see, I got one strapped to the rack and then one stuffed in my backpack. Well, fortunately, I only have a little more than half a mile to go. Mel and I rode our bikes up here to lock number 5 on the Flight of 5, and sure enough, some of the boats that were docked with us back there at the Waterford Visitor Center that departed this morning are going through. So this Power Cat here is Birth of Romance, who we met at Half Moon Bay. Don't know the folks in the sailboat. And there's Scorpio's Dream. They are heading home to Toronto. We chatted with them yesterday. And then Been Delayed. Haven't met those folks yet, but they are loopers. And then Ship Faced in the forward position there. This is Lock 5. In fact, you can see that right after they leave Lock 5, they're going to go into Lock 6. Right down there. Very cool. I just heard on the handheld that the lock tender here radioed, it said Lock 5 to Lock 6, we are raising. So the lock tenders here along the Erie basically let the next lock know that you're coming. So there's really not a lot of radio communication, I understand, where you have to call the lock tender to let them know you're coming, other than the very first lock back at Waterford. When we got here, we originally thought these were statues of horses, but in fact they are mules, and they are here depicting the fact that mules were used along the Erie Canal to haul barges and such with freight and other goods on them up and down the Erie Canal back in the early days before they had power boats. There you go. No sitting or climbing on mule. We are on the bikes and we're traveling from Waterford to Troy, about 4.5 miles. And we're on a road that's part of the Champlain Trail. A lot of people hike and bike. And just up ahead here in front of this truck we're passing, from back there I saw what looked like at least 5 or 6 deer. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that I saw a number of deer run across the road right about up here where this intersection's coming from right to left.
So there is Troy. We're going over the Island Bridge right now, and there's the old part of Troy. Here is the new part, obviously, with lots of pretty views of the Hudson River. So let's go downtown. Over there is the dock, so you can see the wall where the dock is. Over to the south, right up front here, they do have a floating dock. So yeah, it's interesting. They do have one of the best Saturday farmer markets, which we missed, but we got to do the Waterford farmers market, so that was nice. and we're liking that. $17.76. Wow, that is way up there. Cornerstone, laid May 30th, 1890, dedicated and accepted September 1891. War with England. 1861 to 1865. And it names all the battle areas there too. I've been to a bunch of those now. Yorktown. Wow. Port Royal. I imagine this place is pretty lit up at night. There's lights down this alley. There's some artwork. There's some other places. Placid Baker. Ooh, this is nice. A coffee and a blueberry muffin that's stuffed with blueberries, and a wrap, buffalo chicken wrap. A lot of these homes have been turned into apartments, and they were built in the 1800s. Super beautiful. It's just interesting the way that everything's recycled outside of Troy. But yeah, I think my relatives that first arrived here back when it was a new country, they probably would have been really happy to own one of these. So this would have been more like what it was. This is called the Uncle Sam's Trail for biking and walking. But yeah, this would have been more like it before the big city was here. John Payne, first president of the Cemetery Association.
We saw the Ross Memorial on the map here in Oakwood Cemetery, and we assumed it was Betsy, but it's not. It's a guy named Robert. We'll have to figure out who he is and why he's so important. Well, here we are at the Uncle Sam grave site. The original Uncle Sam, a guy by the name of Samuel Wilson, who was a businessman here in Troy, New York. Samuel Wilson died July 31st, 1854, aged 88 years. And his wife is Betsy Mann, wife of Samuel Wilson. 1773 to 1863. There's something else back here about Uncle Sam. In loving memory of Uncle Sam, the name originating with Samuel Wilson during the War of 1812 and since adopted by the United States. Erected by his granddaughter Marion Wilson. How about that? Let me get a picture of that too. This is the view of Troy down below from high up top in Oakwood Cemetery. Little lake here, right in the middle of Oakwood Cemetery as well. Really pretty up here.
Okay. So the water was up that high, if you can see, in 2011. And I did not even know that. And you're saying that the people loved that year, even though it was rough?
It was a difficult year because we had boats here for 5 to 6 weeks that were weathering out the storm.
Wow.
As you can see, we were up probably about 10 feet of water, which flooded not only the homes, but all the way out to Broad Street, which is probably about a quarter mile out. And we put tents up. We had fireplaces going all night long. We had bands, and we still get boaters that come through and say, this was the best disaster that we've ever faced in Waterford.
That's amazing. Well, it's been a wonderful stay for us too.
Come back soon.
Thank you.